Welcome everyone to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka the Gozfather.
I'm Christian, aka SWTOR.
I'm Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi.
Yeah, Preston coming in with all that head sass.
Just following your jingle.
Just bobbling. Bobbling all over the place.
He's already ready to be sassy today.
Plants got today.
Welcome everybody. We have a good week for you. We're gonna tackle what we always do, and then check in later this week as we finish off Metal Gear Solid 3. But let's kick things off like we typically do, which is checking in to see what's going on over in Preston's comment.
We got one comment from this past week. This is from the past weekly prologue from SWTOR. Number one.
I wish we knew who that guy was.
I know.
He seems to be a dick sometimes.
Hey, at least they comment. Number one.
Yeah, dick.
I need to correct the dates here, as it was 2024, not 2023, for my shipping story. And number two, really clever edit on my week, Preston. I was wrong, though, so I am sorry. LOL. That's okay. But yeah, I was wondering, because I just took your word for it. You're like, no, we were talking about your week. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I must have fucking forgot. And then I'm editing it. I'm like, no, we weren't talking about my week.
I really thought it worked because the way that it came up was we were talking about Strive, and then Alex asked the question, and then you were like, it's funny that you mentioned that, Alex, like as in like what's going on with Strive 2.0.
Yeah.
So when you were talking, I was like, in my head, I was just like, we had already done that part, but yeah.
Nope. That's okay. That's all right. No harm, no foul. We'll continue on. But yeah, that's the only comment we got for today. Appreciate it, Christian.
No problem.
But I did want to kind of put out here, because I forgot the past two times. We've had a bunch of comments recently. We appreciate everyone commenting in. But since this one is a little light, I get to talk about the games coming out in August 2025. So let's go through those real quick. Again, I'm skipping a bunch because if I don't recognize it, I won't mention it. But if I missed it and you know it's coming out this month, feel free to drop a comment below and we will talk about that game. Start off, haven't heard about this one, but just want to say the title. Sensei, I Like You So Much is coming out on PC in August 6th. Going through the rest, Gradius Origins came out on the 7th. So I'm excited actually to check that one out. I forgot that came out. Let's see, what else we got here? UFO 50 came on the Switch, so if you are just a Switch user, check out UFO 50. It's very, very dope. Mafia the Old Country came out on August 8th.
Christian.
No, I was just agreeing, but I didn't want to interrupt him like you did just now.
No, that's fine. Drag Cross Drive comes out on the Switch 2 August 14th. Madden also comes out on August 14th. Madden
really
NFL
quick.
26 if you need a specific title.
Preston, for Mafia Old Country, do you remember what the review score is for that game? I don't know if you saw.
It's not bad.
It went up to like 77 or 78, you a-holes.
I don't think that's true. I think
it did. No,
75.
it dropped till it went from 77 to 72, and then the next thing I saw, and now it could have changed, but the last thing I saw on Discord is it went back up from 72 to 77. So piss off, Ghost.
I think it's like 75. I think is what it's sitting at.
Well, it may have sat in the middle.
It's going to sit in mid-70s. It's what I would expect from Mafia the Old Country, all right? I've played a couple of them, but we played the first one on the book club, and it's just, sounds about right? For a $50 game that's about 15, 20 hours long. Yeah.
I have already resigned. The hope and excitement I had for the season, I have already resigned because everybody refuses to give me my fucking score on Warhammer. So right now I'm sitting at, I'm missing 20 points, like legitimately, 18 to 20 points.
You want to specify which Warhammer game? There's a lot of them.
Rogue Trader. It's the DLC to Rogue Trader.
Yeah. So expansion.
So like, yeah. So until that hits anyway, like I can't. It's what it's. I'm just along for the ride now.
So it gets that fourth review. If it gets that fourth review, you won't get those points.
I think. Well, no. I guess that's. If it doesn't get a fourth review, I would assume I just petition the commissioner. We ask the league and do like a vote on it. Is what I would assume we would do.
Well. Yes, but the answer is that if it doesn't have a score on Metacritic or it doesn't have a score on OpenCritic, then it will score nothing.
So it needs to have a score.
But you can put a score in. So there's 3 scores.
I could put a score, but historically over the last 3 seasons, if it doesn't have a score anywhere officially on Metacritic or OpenCritic, it gets nothing.
You get nothing.
I remember one season something happened, the first season I think, where I thought somebody was like allowed to drop a game or something because it didn't get a score.
No,
we did not punish them for not getting a.
It wasn't.
A score.
It's not a punishment. The last season, somebody drafted a DLC for an expansion for a video game, just like you did. It did not get enough reviews, and so it scored them nothing.
There's still time. I'll petition. I'll just start sending out stuff to IGN, everybody else. Be like, somebody, for the love of God,
got to the end of the year.
Otherwise, I will bomb your building.
Oh, well, I won't say that on my
And then they'll give it a 0 out of 10, tank the score, and you'll lose points.
All right, continue on the releases. One I'm excited for, on August 19th, Sword of the Sea comes out on PS5 and PC. Going through the rest.
It's another game I have. My season is very backloaded.
Yeah, same for me. Gears of War Reloaded comes out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on August 26th. Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed Worlds, which is a little extra for the Switch 2 users, on August 27th.
I'm sure Nintendo got a little extra too, right? What was that, $10 at least? Or did they have to buy the whole game again?
No, if you own Forgotten Lands, I'm pretty sure you just get Star-Crossed Worlds with Switch 2. Otherwise, you just have to buy the game. Look it up. I don't know.
Wait, but they came out on Switch. They came out on Switch 1.
It came out on Switch 1. So if you already own that game,
so you don't just get it on the Switch 2. You either had to pay $10 for an upgrade.
You can play the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2, but if you want the Switch 2 version, I think you have to.
Yes, this is not known. We did not look this up, so feel free to Google. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater comes out on the consoles and PC, not on Switch, August 28th. Going through, Lost Soul Aside comes out on PS5, PC, August 29th. And
what is that game?
That's like that.
That is the game that is made by a single developer. Okay. He looks like Noctis, and it's a giant Devil May Cry action game.
Got the stuff coming out of his hand.
He's been making it for 9 years by himself, and it's about to launch. So
that's good.
Daddy wants it to be very good.
I'm sure. And then lastly for the month, we got Shinobi Art of Vengeance coming out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One, and PC on August 29th. I am excited.
That's the side-scroller Shinobi game, yeah?
Yep. I played that demo. It was very, very good. If you're all curious, I know there's a demo on Steam. I'm sure there's a demo on the consoles as well. But yeah, that is it for the releases and it for the comment corner.
Nice. Well, let's get into our weeks. If you guys don't care, I'll start because I think I'll end and tie into Preston and you guys actually.
Sure.
Because I've only played 3 games, one being our book club game. The other game is Rematch, so I don't have to talk about that. And then the only other game that I've played is the beta for Battlefield 6.
Yeah.
6? Yes, that we all played. That's all I've played this week. Battlefield 6 is good. It looks good. It plays good. I'm sure it's incredibly... I bet it's everything people want if you're good at that game. I am not good at that game, so for me, it's good. I die a lot. So I'm sure if you're good at that game, you're like, this is incredible. It's gorgeous. It is really pretty. It sounds great. It plays well. I'm just really bad at that game.
I'm thankful every day that my enjoyment of video games is not tied to whether or not that I'm winning, because...
Well, no, I didn't hate on the game just now. I just said I'm bad at it. That's all that I said.
But you were like, if I was winning, I'm sure I would think it was great, but I'm not, so it's only good.
Well, no. So I don't know that it'll be like a purchase for me, is what I'm saying. Like maybe, but it's not a game.
But do you think that it would be a purchase if you had went 30-5 every match?
Probably not. I mean, it's not a game that I would play by myself that often is the problem, right? I agree with that. I don't know if you classify Destiny multiplayer or Halo or Splitgate. That's more of an arena first person shooter, right? I think I don't.
Yeah.
So like I like the speed of the gunplay.
Kids call them boomer shooters.
Thank you. So I like the speed and the gameplay of those. Those are games I would play by myself. I'll play Splitgate by myself. Like I played Halo by myself. You guys know that, right? Battlefield, as pretty as it is, as really pretty as it is, and as good as it seems to be, it's just not a game I would find playing by myself. So like, it is good. Again, like if you're good at it, I bet you're probably raving about it because everything I saw was nice. The menus are trash, and I think people have already found ways to game this. Like Preston and I played 4 or 5 games in a map, a very similar map, where people kept spawning on rooftops. I don't know how people did that other than cheating.
I think it's if one person gets up there, you can put your spawn beacon down if you play as the assault class or engineer or whatever it is, and then people can just pick that to spawn there. Now, but if you get up there if you're on the plane or a helicopter and you jump out and parachute there.
I say, but if there was no helicopter or plane flying around in this map, the question is, how does that happen?
That's what we were wondering.
Seen it.
No, the map that we were playing on just did not have vehicles. Like maybe some tanks and stuff like that.
Oh, well, then they probably just parkoured their way up there, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, it's fine. There were a couple games I did better than others, and I always have fun in all the Battlefield games sniping. But man, there are some killers out there. Some that I'm pretty sure were like, one dude, Christian, when we were playing, I would almost guarantee was shooting the edge of a rock in a way he knew his bullets were going to split in half and one half was going to angle down to the right and kill me behind it. It was incredible. But it's good. I don't know. I assume the reviews are good. I've seen both people really enjoying it and people bitching about cheaters like always. There's nothing you can really do in a beta about that. But
I have a weird take where, so I played with you guys and I came away from that being like, this is the first time that I've had fun with a Battlefield game since like Bad Company
4.
or like 3 or something. Like it was
3,
it's been
we played 3
time.
or 4 together, I thought, or something like that. Like
we might have played 3, I think is the last one that I played. So it might have been that. But I was like, this is the last time that I've had fun with a Battlefield game. Like this is really great. Only to go, and I was like, I wonder how other people are feeling about it. And regular people like us all seem to be very excited about it. They think that it's great. It seems it's awesome. I then, unfortunately, ran into takes from streamers.
Oh.
And, oh my God.
What do they hate about it?
I haven't seen any, yeah. What?
It wasn't so much that about things that they hated. It was that there were ideas, let's call them, that they had about what this game needs, right? Like they're like, so to actually make it last. So you have people like XQC and other people who I do not like, but people that have millions of followers. I shouldn't even say I don't know them, but I don't like their content is what I should say. But they would be like, this game needs a battle royale. This game needs battle passes. We need all these different, like anything that you can spend money on.
Beta,
and then it needs ranked.
man.
They were like, it needs ranked game modes that you can play. And, like all, like basically saying like, guys, I want this to be as shittily of a microtransaction filled garbage fest that Activision games
because they want viewers if they want to play this game as a streamer, like I want to be the Battlefront streamer, this is what I need to be, that Battlefront streamer. This is not a streamer.
I seriously I was getting so angry because I was like, you guys need to stop trying to ruin fucking video games. Like,
so it fits their streamer.
It was I remember the same thing fucking happened with Halo Infinite, where when Halo Infinite was popping off, but right around when people were like, hey, we want some more maps, we want some more game modes, like, when are you giving us Forge, when are you doing this? And the same fucking thing came out where you had people like, all those big ones, like XUC, the Tim the Tapman dude, the Nick, whatever the fuck, all these people that have bazillions of followers that fucking play FPS games all day and make it their fucking job. they're like, Halo needs a battle royale. If Halo gets a battle royale, it'll save the game. You have to do battle royale. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And it's like, or I have an idea. What if they just make a regular fucking game? It's fun to play, and then me and my friends can play it together, have fun, turn the game off, and then go to bed. Like not everything needs to be a fucking souped up Marvel Cinematic Universe experience that charges people for the rest of their fucking lives.
If they want to make a living off it.
But we've talked about this before. That's the problem with streamers, sponsorships, and having millions of people. Like, the millions of people that play the game don't want the Battle Royale. We want to have fun with our friends and play. But these companies cater to the 12 popular streamers because they'll take their fan base somewhere else. It's just like,
I mean, it was the same thing Preston and I saw with like Street Fighter a little while ago, where people were like content creators coming out and being like, I don't know, man, it just feels like Street Fighter 6 doesn't have any legs anymore. Like, it's just, I don't know, like the meta's been kind of figured out. We know this, we know that. Like, I can only play so many matches in a day. It's like,
yeah,
this is not supposed to be.
It's not a full-time job.
Yes, like, play a different fighting game then. If you're a content creator and you want to make content playing fighting games, go play a different one. If you're going to play, like, I'm sorry that you feel bored after putting 4,000 hours in Street Fighter 6 and then being like, yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I know all of fucking Cammy's combo routes now. It's like, I would fucking hope so. You put 4,000 hours into the game. It's not shocking that you fucking know all the moves that you can do and that you feel like you're like, oh, I guess I just have everything figured out. Yep, it's been 4,000 hours. You should. That
Maybe
is
you
insane that you're even trying to put that as a criticism.
And putting that skill to work, which is what you're supposed to do with fighting
games. And then you can make money like that.
Make more money that way. And you
I was talking to you about this, Christian. They're like on Battlefield. Remember we finished games and people were like, this game is ass. These maps are ass. And I was just like, guys, it's a beta. Like, we only have 2 maps. It's only 2 or 3. It's just a beta. That's all that it is. It's testing servers. I liked a couple of them, but like you're bitching about, and same thing with Battle Pass, whatever. Like, I disagree with those takes, but like, you're not even bitching about a for sale published game. Like, it's not out yet. It's a beta.
It very well might have all of that bullshit in it already. And guess what?
Maybe
if it does, I don't want anything to do with it. But I just mean, like, it's so insane that you see a game come out that is a beta, and all it has in it is just the game. That's nothing else, nothing crazy, nothing hidden, nothing. It is just the game and the game modes you get to play. And all you see is these people being like, I don't know, man, I just really want some exploitation in my game. That's what I want. Like, and it's like, oh, dude, why? Like, what are we talking about? Like, can we just have regular games, please? Can you just
But if it doesn't have a gotcha system for me to gamble on, Christian, how am I going to get all these followers to participate and put money toward the bets?
That's really what it comes down to. And that's why my ultimate thing here is I just want to say, just stop trying to ruin video games for the rest of us. Either play your little fucking games on stream, have your little career, and if you, I swear to God, start influencing companies to make games a certain way so that you can continue to funnel in the fucking teenagers that come and smash their fucking parents' credit card into your account, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Like, it would make it so that if that's where we end up getting, where, you know, the only games that end up, you know, being huge are ones that...
That's not going to be the case. I mean, we got Claire Obscura.
Well, here's the thing, though.
And that's none of that.
You say that, but here's the thing.
I mean, Claire Obscura is big critically and sales-wise, but like...
and some streamers played it, but they were mid-tier streamers. As in, you know, like, they don't make as much money as everybody else. But if you go to the ones that pull in millions of dollars and all this other shit,
Fortnite,
their
Battlefield,
chat,
Call of Duty.
I saw multiple people during these takes, their chat would run by and be like, yo, you should play Expedition 33, blah, blah, blah. And then they would be like, oh, no, it's just not my kind of game, man. Like, I just, you know, I gotta do this kind of thing, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's every single time, like, they are trying to not play those kinds of games, play these ones that will make them money, and eventually we will stop getting... I hope not, but it feels like eventually, if it keeps getting that way and that business keeps growing and growing and growing, there's going to be fewer and fewer games that are like an Expedition 33 and more games that end up having to have some sort of live service element so that they can continue to make money for people.
But why are you saying like if it gets? It's already happening. Like the problem with Expedition 33 is
because we still get good games. We still get games that are the right size to do those things.
We do, but like, first of all, like people don't stick around to watch those games. That's why they watch the shooters and play the shooters because they're quick and they're easy. People can tune in and tune out and come back and so on. You don't miss anything. You'll lose a fan base in a long story game because they can't keep up with it. Not to say we don't get good games, but Christian, think about what it took us to get that game. It was not a big studio. It was like 37
That's
people.
What I mean, though, is that it'll
like
have
the big studios are already done doing that in large part.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I mean. Is that it'll only be like little indie studios that pop up. But the problem is that even then, those people have to have some sort of what Preston?
No, I just feel like that we also have big studios like this. I mean, it doesn't happen as often, but like you got big studios like Sony. They push out single player games that don't have all that kind of shit pushed into it. Like the Ghost of Yotei is not going to have that stuff. God of War didn't have that stuff. Spider-Man didn't have that stuff. Like, what are we talking here?
Well,
but those also are like
it doesn't have a battle pass, but it has plenty of microtransactions that you can spend money on.
It has DLC like every fucking game has had for the past 20 years.
But those games are also filled with fluff. Like look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man, how many times did you have to, I love that game. But like that and God of War, you're going around like collecting these like little radio points of interest. In God of War, you're going around throwing an axe.
But it has nothing to do with streamers and that what we're talking about here.
No, but it does. It's not. You cannot consider God of War in the same quality as Clair Obscur, and if you do, you're an insane person. Because one of these is
it's a good like, single player game, and that's
the same way that we're talking.
It's not the same.
The same way we're talking about. The same way we're talking about people always trying to make live service games and do all these samey things to exploit people. Like Sony does rinse and repeat the same kind of game over and over and over again for all of their single player games. And then they also add tons of fucking microtransactions and everything else. And I understand that a lot of people do that, but it doesn't make it like a fun thing to have to go through. Like it's not a good thing. Like I shouldn't have a bunch of extra little nickel and dime things that I can choose to do into or not on my single player game. It should just be there and then I can move the fuck on.
But Sony too, Preston, you may not see it in every game, but like, and you say Ghost of Yotei won't be full of that, but like Ghost of Yotei has its own controller that's going to be $80. Ghost of Yotei has its own like Sony skin that you can buy for the PlayStation. At one time you paid no, you can't say so though, because at one time you paid or you got themes that Sony took. It's all. Sony doesn't have to do a battle pass in every game because they're a company that produces microtransactions on a grand scale through accessories and live services.
I don't see that as a microtransaction. I don't see a controller that has a
But it's the same thing. The company is bigger.
I don't know why you're yelling at me as well.
They're bigger. It's if they were a smaller development company, it would be the same thing. Right? But Sony is a large publisher, so they're doing the same thing on a larger scale. But at the end of the day, to Christian's point, it is still rinse and repeat. 5 of the same God of Wars, 4 of the same Spider-Man, full of fluff and junk.
We've had Last of Us re-released to us 5 fucking times.
Sure.
Okay, that's not good.
I did not say it was good. I didn't even bring up Last of Us. I just brought up like certain games like Yotei.
No, Sony's doing this. It's okay. It's all
and
good.
Nintendo does it too. I mean, you can talk about the price of Mario Kart World.
Nintendo business practices.
You can talk about the fucking thing of Mario Kart World, but also like there's no like buy this pack to get these skins or anything like that, and they haven't done that yet. It's even the DLC, like all that kind of stuff. Like they have all these different skins for all these different characters. They could have easily made microtransactions or a season pass out of it, but they didn't. They just gave you a game that you can go online with and have fun with.
So let's praise them for.
And Bonanza's out there making a normal price game, and it's very good. Okay. And there's not
normal price game.
Yeah, it's a $70 game.
That's for the digital version. I think the physical is $80, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, you'll have to check though, but I don't know. I haven't checked it. $10 more, whatever. We can complain about that. That's a different situation.
No, what do you mean, whatever?
No. We are talking about adding things like microtransactions and season passes and stuff like that to keep the streamers going, so that way they can make their money playing a game full time. That's not what's happening with God of War. That's not what's happening with Bloodborne. That's not what's happening with Elden Ring.
The core of this is Bloodborne is a different.
I said Elden Ring as well.
But sure, and Elden Ring is another example of a company that is big enough to be able to do their own thing and not have somebody come down and tell them what to do. But more important, the core of the issue, that's what we're getting at, is we're saying that there is a lot of times outside of something like a FromSoft where you're too big to have, but you're still owned by yourself and nobody can tell you what to do, or a small indie company where you just are coming out and doing your own thing. There is a problem with most of the games we get either being, just in general, being too samey, whether it's catering to a streamer audience or being, in Sony's particular case, being made out of the same cookie cutter shape that they use for a lot of their games. And then they monetize that and re-release that to people over and over and over again to continue to make money over time off of the same people, the same way that EA, Activision, all those other people usually do that with their online service games. It's either one or the other. You have to find a way to make money off of people consistently over a long period of time, and that's what people are trying to do. And that's what we're saying.
While releasing a subpar product, right? Like, you're not getting the quality of game like a Clear Obscure.
Now, there are times where bigger companies do end up doing a good game. Like, I am on record as saying that Ghost of Tsushima is a good game. And I think that Ghost of Yotei will also be a good game. This is not to put down the people that work over at Insomniac, but does not change the fact that 95% of the games Sony releases are all the fucking basically the same thing.
Open world.
Christian, remember that this is the same game as Ghost of Tsushima, and if I recall, you know, as much as we like the game, you were one of those people that were like, I hope they never do anything else with this. I hope it stays one and done.
I did.
But they can't.
Yes.
But they can't, right? And I'm not upset about Ghost of Yotei. I'm sure it'll be great. I loved the first one. But it doesn't change the fact that this is the first one repackaged.
To be fair, we don't exactly know that yet because none of us has played that game. But most likely it is another Ghost game. It'll probably have a lot of the same kind of things to where it's like it's going to open up the map. You're going to have checkpoints. You're going to do stuff. But that's what people are buying. That's what people are liking. Why wouldn't they want to make another one of those? It's a good game. It's a good concept. And people are enjoying it. No one is disliking it. You guys yourself did not say you disliked it.
But that's how we get to the point that we're at, like, with, like, where you guys are at now with Marvel. Like, people are buying the tickets, so why wouldn't they just keep making more until they make so many and make so many more that now everybody is like, God, please, can we just have anything else?
I don't see it.
You just love every Marvel movie that's came out? You're not feeling burned out at all? Because I've heard you say you're burned out.
I'm feeling burned out at all. We're not talking about Marvel movies, though.
No, but, okay. We're talking about the same thing. We're talking about at the core of the issue of doing the same thing over and over and over again for a long enough period so that you are making money off of people because they just keep asking for it, so we're going to keep doing it, and they just keep going and going and going, and then that's all that ends up happening, and that's all that we end up getting filled in. Like, it is rare. The whole reason why Clair Obscur blew up the way it did is because it is rare for a game like that to come out. Like, we do not get a new turn-based style RPG very often. And when we do, it is usually made by a singular company. Square Enix. That's it. And even then, they don't even make them really anymore.
You like those Heroes games?
Of their other... Huh?
You like those Heroes games? I can't say Trails or Trials. Like, I think it's Trails.
Trails.
You're right. Yes. Falcom is another company who makes turn-based games. Yes, they do. Yep.
Would you say that they reiterate and they do the same thing for the most part outside of the story for most of those games? Same thing with Yakuza?
Well, they're direct sequels. They're direct sequels, so yes, they're going... Now, they change gameplay and do things like from the first game on, but they're trying to tell a complete, like, through story, so it's not exactly the same thing. But also, that's not... Somebody releasing a sequel to a game and then doing that as a through story, to me, is not the same thing as re-releasing The Last of Us 5 fucking times.
Sure, but would you say it's the same thing as releasing, like, God of War, the second game, like Ragnarok, or Spider-Man 2, or Ghost of Yotei?
Right. I don't
to be fair,
have a
Ghost of
problem with
Yote
those.
may not be a similar story, but like Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok
In those particular
continue the
instances,
story.
I don't have a problem with them releasing sequels to games. What I have a problem with is that if I close my eyes and I'm playing the game, Spider-Man, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima
Horizon.
all are open world, and Horizon are all open world collectathon games that have the exact same formula and do the exact same thing.
Sure.
The only difference is the characters and the story.
Yeah.
So
on the rare occasion we get a Helldivers 2.
Yes, and then Sony found it, and Sony tried to find a way to monetize a live service game and fucked it over.
Yeah,
and so that's all I'm saying. I think that it makes me mad that we have so few instances, especially recently, of games just coming out and just trying to be the game with no extra idea of an extra monetization path or a plan for a giant universe.
Like Blueprints or Balatro or games like that, to like small indie games that come out. They don't have all that kind of bullshit, and we all enjoy them. Those games are still coming out.
Yes, we still get indie games from people, but the thing is that more and more when people have less and less money to spend, it becomes harder to convince people to take a chance on a game like Expedition 33 or Blueprints or Balatro or anything like that. And there's a lot of people that only have money for a couple games a year, anything like that. And if it gets worse and worse and worse, which is where we're at now, you are not going to be able to convince somebody to buy a Blueprints over buying whatever the next Call of Duty is. And when that happens, those small studios that are taking the chances and are taking the risk end up folding and not being able to do anything ever again.
Sure. It affects the small studios in different ways too, and I'll give you an interesting through line that I saw today actually of not like a small studio, but just like different studios trying to fill the gap of the same genre, but catering to the populace, the streamers, and where they find funding. So
they want to make as much money as possible, because these games are getting more expensive to make. Yeah,
we know that the Elden Ring team and everybody were like, hey, we're going to take a break. We're not going to do an Elden Ring 2 for a while, right? Like, we're going to back off from this genre right now. So then you had like two companies that kind of stepped up pretty quickly, actually. You had the Lies of P company that popped out a game that was like, hey, we're here to replace the Souls-like experience. And then you had Black Myth that came out that was like, we're also trying to fill it. They both tried to fill that same gap, albeit different types of games.
Yeah, Wu Chang
right?
and a couple of games, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Wu Chang's a great point, right? So like then you have another company, they could make any game on the planet. But what's the one that's going to get funded? Another Souls-like in the gap of this.
People know
and so
that
what is Wu Chang?
Yeah.
But what's the gimmick? Like, you've already seen and this is the thing, you already see the safe bet and the games devolve. People at first were like, oh, Wu Chang looks cool, but what you realize when you peel back the surface is the story is meh, right? It's very mid, but it's got a sexy character that you can put in no clothes. So it's boobs and jiggle bouncing. So it's actually taking away from the gameplay, it's taking away from the story, because you went with like a safe bet pretty girl where you can, if I'm not mistaken, pay for outfits in that one. And then there's another game coming out that is very similar to Wu Chang. All of a sudden, this one is Korean mythology, right? And again, it's just when these studios, whether they're internally publishing the same game or funding external games to publish, it's still watering down the entire industry. Like, do we need 7 different Souls-likes that every time gets a little bit worse and a little bit worse and a little bit more gacha or a little bit more, like streamer friendly? Like, probably not. But it's because nobody wants to fund a game like Expedition 33. That's why you have to go off. Like, indie devs are always going to be there, right? Sure. Because we need, somebody has to fill that gap, but the big studios are not trying to fill that gap, and the big publishers are not looking to fill that gap right now.
It's awesome that games like Blueprints or Expedition 33 blow up, but like there's tons of indie games that we don't hear that often about that end up trying to do something. Their game doesn't blow up the way they wanted to, and then they're not able to make it work, and they fold. Like the guys who did Hypnospace Outlaw, I talked to you guys about that game. I fucking love that game. That game is so cool. They started trying to work on a sequel for the last 5 years, and couldn't make it work, couldn't get it together, couldn't get enough funding, and they had to shutter the whole studio. It was 5 people or 10 people, whatever it was, but they had to fold and not. And so, like, there are games, like indie games, that do blow up, that do end up coming out, that are doing the right thing. But there's tons that we don't hear about, that don't make the light of day, that end up getting folded because there's just not enough people buying it. And even then, like, something like Blueprints or Balatro, whether we like it or not, the only reason that those blow up is because certain streamers see them and put them out there, and then it makes it so that enough people go and check it out, or certain podcasts or anything like that. And that's just kind of the game that developers have to play now. But the whole point was that at the end of the day, it was very frustrating for me to see all these people try to get. And again, Battlefield might launch with all that stuff just already. They just didn't put it in the beta. But it was but it was annoying to see people acting like it needed that stuff.
Sure.
When it really does not. It could just be a regular video game.
You could release that game with more weapons and more maps and maybe some more like modes, but like it doesn't need all that. People would enjoy it just as much, for sure.
Yes.
It will 100% have a battle pass for their weapons and probably
1,000%. And
different skins for the 4 characters.
And they'll do a fucking battle royale thing. It'll be free to play. You can get that just on the side because Call of Duty did the same thing. It blew up and made them a bunch of money. So of course EA is going to do the same thing for Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm sure.
Back to my week. The only other thing that I did, I'm not going to say too much about, because I'm sure we're going to talk about it here when we get to Preston's, is I also watched the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth, and holy shit.
I didn't get to watch it last night.
And that's my week, but holy shit.
So yeah, we all played Battlefield 6 together. I really liked it. It was fun. Depending on whatever happens, I might end up picking it up on. I'll pick it up on PlayStation because I'm not doing any of that anti-cheat bullshit that they have. But I will, if it does come out and it ends up being like the full package is anything like the beta, then I will totally pick it up on PlayStation 5 because it was actually really fun.
It was.
And then play a little bit more Pokemon. Nothing else up there. Street Fighter 6, been playing more still. Just been locking in playing it. Finally crawled my way up to gold rank.
Oh yeah.
So not super high yet, but I'm getting there. We're getting better.
Climbing.
So I think after that is platinum, and then after that is master, and then that's it.
How about diamond?
Sorry, yes, diamond. Maybe it's platinum, then diamond, then master. So I got 3. So working there. But yeah, it's been good. Good. I just keep playing more fighting games. Sure. And then I didn't get to watch the show last night, so I'm gonna try to watch it tonight, but I did not get to watch it, unfortunately.
Okay. It's good. But yeah, we'll continue on with the Battlefield 6. It was good. I kind of feel the same with Alex, to where it's like, I'm not great at it, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. But to be fair, like I've played Battlefield plenty to where it's like, my KD ratio doesn't necessarily need to be in the positive as long as I'm going for the objective and like, supporting the entire team getting the job done. Now, that should be also said for my teammates. And so for a lot of these, like there's a couple of them, like this called Conquest, to where like you get the points, those drain points from the team, or you get drain points from the team faster the more points you have. But also the deaths of your teammates will also take away points because essentially it's removing all of the total number of respawns your team has, essentially, at the end of the day. So this game has a revive, which I think is really cool because you can just take the person, you can drag them out of the line of fire and everything like that. I thought that was very well done. But you'll die. There'll be 5 people hanging out around you. Not one fucking person is reviving you. You're pressing the button revive, so you're putting your hand up. It's calling out to your teammates. Nothing's fucking happening.
It was just me and Preston healing each other, reviving each other.
It's like, what the fuck, guys? Like, we would be losing less points here. Not to mention, we don't have to run all the way to this point again if we would just revive each other. But no, everyone's playing their own game. Everyone's having their own fun. You can't tell them how to have fun differently. So it was kind of disappointing to see that, but also it's free beta weekend. Everyone is fucking in this game. Maybe the people who actually pay money for the fucking game will actually play the game a little bit better. So if Christian gets it, like I said, Alex and Christian, like if if these guys get it, I'll get it because I do enjoy myself. But again, it's not a game I'll play by myself.
Well, if you guys get it, I'll get it because I won't play it by myself. But there were multiple times where Christian and I would both be down at the same time, and I would just turn and like hold and wave at him, just be like, "It's happening. We're going down, brother." We're just like, we're both our hands in the air just towards each other. People are just like running by us doing nothing.
There is parts of the game too where you're like, clearly there are people who have been playing Battlefield and never stopped, and so they're so good at these games, and then we're not like that. And so like there was one moment where Alex and I were playing, and we got in a Jeep. And I started yelling the Halo theme song, and we're driving. Yeah, we're going, and we get to the point we can maybe kill 2 people, and an RPG rocket comes out of nowhere and just blows us up. And I was like, man, this is insane. There's people who were driving around in these Jeeps, and they would make it last for like half the match, and then Alex and I are in this thing for fucking 5 seconds, and we get blown up. Like,
no
so
fun.
irritating.
It's a lot of fun. Played some more CyberPunk. Not a whole lot to bring up on that. So I just played a little bit more. Same thing with SWTOR. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Twitch.tv/Testing Room Live. Feel free to check us out. By the time this comes out, I will probably have finished the main campaign for Star Wars: The Old Republic. I think I got one more location to go through. It should be pretty short. I probably will try to do the Shadow of Revan stuff. I'm going to kind of look up into that stuff a little bit more as well, because I just kind of want to get that little Revan story.
You were cruising last session.
I was cruising last session. We finished Corellia, and from what I understand, we're going to Droman Kaas, and we're going to face the Emperor. So we're going to take care of that. And then we're on to some older, much shorter Star Wars games coming up. So there'll be a little bit more variety on the channel, so don't forget, like I said, twitch.tv/Testing Room Live on Sundays around 8:30 in the morning Central Standard Time. And then if you missed it then, you can either go back to the Twitch channel and watch it there on our VODs, or you can watch it on YouTube when I toss it up there on the following Wednesdays. So feel free to keep an eye out for that. Other than that, shows. Dandadan has caught up from what they showed in the movie theater. So we got new episodes of that. Very, very good. The last episode had they're essentially trying to exorcise a demon from one of the kids. So she hired a band to come by, and while these guys are not exorcists, for some reason their music does a really good job as far as like suppressing or doing something to help out with the exorcism. For the English dub, they actually got I want to say it's the singer from Dragon Force. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. But a very famous American rock band, they actually got the singer to do the voice work for that, for the English dub, and it's very funny. And a reference in there that I did not realize, but when they're turning up the speakers and everything like that, it is frame for frame when they start turning the dials in Back to the Future for those speakers as well. So it's a nice nod, but it's that show's great. I love that show.
Is it safe to say, and maybe this is a Damien question, is it safe to call Dragon Force an incredibly famous, like I know they had the rock band hit and it was really hard, they got popular off that, but like,
to be fair, incredibly famous maybe that's a stretch, but a no-named a well-known,
it is so
well enough known.
The funny thing is that, and I don't know this for sure, but I believe this is the case. Mark Hudson is the vocalist for Dragon Force, who is in the Dandadan thing. He is not the vocalist, however, that everybody remembers them for in the Through the Fire and Flame song. They got rid of that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the only members of that band that are still original are the 2 guitar players, and that's it. Okay. I think everybody else has changed.
Damien, feel free to let us know. But that was a nice surprise. I saw that too. And since they didn't show the new intro in the movie theater, I finally got to see the new intro for the second season. It's a good song. Good song. Very well animated for the intro. It's really hard to beat that first season's intro. That first season's intro fucking slapped. Like, that will go down as one of the best intros in anime for sure. Mm-hmm. And then, lastly, watch some of the Alien Earth, the first 2 episodes. It does it very well. I'm not going to spoil anything because Christian hasn't seen it yet, but all I will say is that there's a lot of practical effects as far as the creatures are concerned. Or I guess the alien creature, but there are other creatures in the game as well. The movie, show. Jesus Christ, Preston. But in the show, the only thing I'll say is that there is I don't know if I can talk about this without spoiling, but let's say that there are a group of people that have a certain type of personality, a very childlike personality, if you will. Alex, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the. Did you take the headphones out? Did he take the headphones out? Okay.
So he could. Yeah. So he couldn't. So you couldn't. Spoil
okay. So it, yeah. So yeah. So in the show, they have it to where they finally get it to where they have. At the very beginning, it's this girl. She's dying from what looks like cancer, like maybe leukemia or something like that. So they transport her mind into the body of a synthetic. It's the first time it's ever happened in this universe. So it's kind of a big deal. So you have adult people, and they have more kids that they try to do this as well. So there's a group of them, but you have adult people with childlike personalities. Now a lot of their emotions are taken out of it because of the fact that they're synthetic. They don't get a lot of those chemicals and dopamine and stuff like that put into the brain, but they do have some synthetic stuff in there to try to make them feel those things as far as like, happiness and stuff like that. But I feel like it makes it a little extra light as far as like lighthearted in a show that I'm expecting more horror. So and also like they're very strong, so she can jump off a cliff and land, and it's all very, there's no harm, no foul kind of thing. Like she can jump out and then she's like superhuman essentially. She's very strong, and it's just, I think they're turning it to it doesn't feel as suspenseful horror as I thought it was going to be, because in the trailers I did not realize that was going to be the case. I thought this was just a lady and she's going to be a part of whatever it was, but the whole child aspect of this, I don't like as much. I'm sure I will like it more as it goes on when they kind of like go more of like the human and synth body. But
you watched both episodes then, yeah?
Yeah.
See, I disagree. I like it because I think it started off a little light when they're like running around doing their own thing, and they have the names of the Lost Boys, right? Like and all that.
But they do the whole gross. And I'm like, okay.
But
little jokes.
When they make it to the crash, and they make it to the hotel and stuff, when they actually split off and come across the other creatures in there, and like the one girl's terrified, she has her knife up and she won't move, and they like have one trapped and stuff like. I thought that's when you got to see their childish personality kind of come to life, because like the real fear set in.
The acting is doing well with it.
I thought that was good. Yeah.
I just don't know if I prefer seeing the child personalities in this scenario as much as we have. But I'm this is not me talking down on it. This is a good show. I'm done with spoiler. Are you good done with spoilers?
Yeah. I think yes. I think you just got to give it some time, because I think that the way that's going to come to play into the world building, it's going to be really powerful.
The way the writing is done in this entire show, I have no doubt that it's going to do well for it, as far as the thing I had an issue with. But it is something that if I could nitpick, and I could say that one thing that kind of maybe took me out of it would have been that. So, but overall, incredible. I love them using actually like a bodysuit for like that creature. So it's just like, it's like, okay, they're not going full CG on all this. Like, of course, the spaceship crashing you see in the trailer, like that's going to be CG, right? It's going above them. It's going to hit in the building and stuff like that. I'm not expecting them to do practical effects for shit like that. But like when you got like the alien creature, it's like, that's a dude in a fucking bodysuit. And I can see it. I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. There's some things you're going to have to do CG for when he's doing these crazy jumps or something like that. But they're showing very little of it. They're doing stuff like that. Thank you. The
very first scene of the show opens up, Christian, with like a guy in a chair on a spaceship, and it is straight out of like it's modern day, it's filmed today, but it's straight out of like the 80s, 70s. Like it's got all the lights, it's got all the sound, even the color.
I'm very excited.
The crew talking to each other, the dining table thing. It's very
the clothes, like nothing is sterile and like stark white like you would have in modern day. It's all that like eggshell, off color, a little yellowy. It's
they do a very good job.
It's incredible.
Notes. So I think you'll.
I did look it up, by the way. While I was waiting, I did look it up. I was correct. There have been many member changes in Dragon Force's history. The only two constants are the two guitar players. So this is not Through the Fire and Flames, man. No. That's okay.
But it's another American rock star. They do the vocals as a rock star in an anime. It's very fun. He does a very good job, too.
It's an American frontman, for sure.
American frontman, yes.
Stars. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's... Well, that's my week. Oh, I really want to really quick. Right. I didn't mention it beforehand. Mega Man X is on the back burner. Sigma was beating my ass. I was having a fun time getting to him. So for those of you who don't know, Sigma, to get to him, 3 or 4 stages. Those are all boss rush stages. And then you get to Sigma's level to where you have to fight Sigma's dog, Sigma, and then like a giant mechanized version of Sigma. And if you die, you get to go back and you get to like, try that Sigma level again. Come to find out, if you were to close the game, no matter how you saved, it will make you do the boss rush over again. So I found that out the first time I turned it off and back on. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it again. I wasn't paying attention to my Steam Deck's battery life. And the Steam Deck turned off on me, which had me lose the hour and a half, 2 hours of me trying to face this one boss. It hurt. It hurt real bad because I was doing well. I was doing real well. So you got to get those energy tanks. And guess what? If you have a whole bunch of lives when you go into this, you don't replenish your energy tanks. And there's no like place that I think of that you can like do in this to where it's like, okay, I'm going to replenish my energy tanks here. You have to like let all your lives go and then go back to that one level where you can, spawn the energy tanks and then go back into it, which you can still do Sigma in that one level unless your Steam Deck runs out of battery power and restarts you the entire way through. I'm like, if I want to do this boss rush again for the 3rd time and then go back into Sigma, it's like, I've seen what it is. One of these days, I will go back to it. I have the save file. It'll stay there. One of these days, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again. And then we won't have to play through all that stuff. I'll just do the boss rush. But it is on the back burner. It hurt me. It hurt me hard. Just a little bit my fault, but still. That's where I'm at next. But yeah, that is my week.
All right, well, thanks for hanging out this week with our prologue and seeing what's going on with us. Don't forget to check in later this week as we finish up Metal Gear Solid 3. Hopefully you had a chance to listen to part 2. It was a hefty boy. This one's going to be hefty too, I have a feeling, because
a lot of cutscenes.
Less playtime, lots of story. Mm-hmm. Lots and lots and lots of story. So yeah, join us for that. I think it'll be a fun one. And then I will be telling us what we're playing to next. So... Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.